Good morning, everybody. It's Zach Eats Breakfast. I'm Zach. This is my breakfast. This is my good friend Murphy Sutton. And that's his breakfast. He's vegan.
Yeah, vegan-ish, vegetarian-ish,
vegan-ish. He's like a vegan Catholic. He's vegan unless he forgets, and then it's okay.
Oh, damn. Wow. So I can finally dig in here?
Yeah, no, feel free. Go right ahead. Got a couple things to talk about before we get to whatever we're going to get to. We don't really ever know here on this show. Get me a good bite or two in first. We have a guest? We do. Hi, Kate. No, it's quite all right. Hey, Kate, while you're here, right there, see that little box on that black thing? You can take that. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Live shows, everybody. Live shows. So Sonic fans rejoice. Sonic Mania and Sonic Mania Plus. Cheat codes have been discovered.
Oh, of course.
Used in the same way as in the old school games, you activate them by going into debug mode, holding Y, selecting no save, and then in the old school Sonic games, you enter codes using the sound test menu, because there was a sound test menu in a lot of old school games where you could go through and just listen to all the little sound samples, be it music or enemy sounds and whatnot. And they were all numbered, so you would just go through and you would play different sounds. That's how you would activate cheat codes.
That's dope. I never even heard of that.
Yeah. Some fun stuff. You can get like all the gems if you want to get all the gems, or you can make all the animals squirrels.
Do you have to like program that or hack that?
No. No. Cheat codes, man.
That's
We didn't
good.
have hacks back in the day.
That's true, yeah. Well,
Developers were just like, hey, let's put something secret in there for people to find, and then they'll be able to do cool stuff.
so there's no way to actually get into the BIOS of the game or the nitty-gritties of the game back then?
I mean, yes and no. There were people who could do it by plugging their games into computers in one way or another.
Yeah.
But that was pretty rare back in the 80s and 90s. You young whippersnappers, you wouldn't understand.
Honestly, I'm kind of glad. This is a good era for me to grow up in.
That's alright. I wouldn't mind growing up in like the 80s. I really like 80s stuff.
Well, everyone does.
Like funky suits. Nobody really likes funky suits. Like, I appreciate the underappreciated part of the 80s.
That's fair.
Like Miami Vice suits.
Oh, God.
Who doesn't love a good bright colored pastel shirt under a white suit jacket, some white pants? That's the aesthetic I want. It's not the aesthetic I can pull off. I have never seen a generation more obsessed with a singular word than you kids and the word aesthetic, by the way.
Well,
it's ridiculous.
I'm not quite sure why that happened.
I don't think anyone is.
I know the vaporwave craze kind of made it happen, but like I don't know, aesthetic is like very reminiscent of like just how visually operated we are as a culture, I think. So I think it fits the...
We've had words like that before.
Like what?
Vibe.
Well, no, vibe doesn't fit aesthetic.
Yes, it does.
Oh, yeah, like aesthetic is very specific, but a vibe is like, anything could be a vibe. A room could be a vibe, but not... You can walk into a vibration, but you can't walk into an aesthetic. It's two totally different things.
I don't know. I feel like you could totally walk into an aesthetic.
I mean, that's a super advanced aesthetic, but I'll be down for that. I'm not very close-minded when it comes to
I want
aesthetic.
an aesthetic that you can't feel at all, that makes you really numb to everything. Be like an anesthetic.
That's a good one.
Or somebody who studies aesthetics, an aesthetic, I can't say the word, anesthesiologist, I guess.
What do they do?
Well, an anesthesiologist is the person who comes in and anesthetizes you.
Oh.
I guess.
Huh.
They give you the stuff that makes it so you don't feel when the doctor's going to cut your arm off.
Ah, I see. Oh, yeah. That makes sense now. I'm just gonna put these raisins now.
Like a phlebotomist. Just draws your blood. Whoa. Careful with the F words, though. That's more censoring I have to do.
Oh, my bad.
YouTube doesn't like the F words. I don't mind anything else. Yeah, they just changed their freaking stuff again.
Still?
And didn't tell anybody.
Jesus. I didn't know YouTube was actually like that.
YouTube algorithms usually aren't bad, but they usually just don't tell anybody when they change them.
Huh.
So you're
So you
stuck
can't say-
wondering where all your views went for a few weeks. And you're like, oh, I said again.
Wow. That's actually really surprising. And scary. Because YouTube used to be the place where, like, all the edgy humor used to be. And now it's
I mean,
like...
you can still do it. But unless, you have your subscribers hit the little bell,
Oh.
they aren't necessarily going to see your stuff first anymore for that video.
Jeez. That's wrong. I guess that's what happens when you get the whole community of everywhere from, you know...
And you got kids, too, so, you gotta worry about that, because a lot of people don't like the kids hearing stuff like that.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
That's
Raise
fair
your
enough.
kids how you want.
But then again, if your kids can't hear that word, they probably shouldn't be on the internet. Like that's, and I was a kid once too, and I probably wouldn't want to hear that, but like, I would probably not be able to accept that word anyways.
My dad was a biker. We hung around biker parties. We heard lots of stuff we weren't necessarily supposed to hear.
Exactly. So I guess that's just YouTube. Like, was anyone really complaining about that? Like, oh, there's too much mature content on YouTube. Like, or was that YouTube just covering its own?
I think it was YouTube just trying to decrease the amount that kids were necessarily seeing.
So does that mean to dumb down the rest of content? Like, all content universally just because some kids might be there?
I don't know.
I mean, what's the demographic of YouTube? Like, much older than mature. I think that's fairly...
For the most part.
Yeah, plus giving how long YouTube's been his thing.
But you also now have all these little kids, like 3 and 4 year olds, who have iPads and just get on YouTube and watch
And they should.
videos and videos and videos and
That should be
videos.
Google's problem, to try to fix the problem of kids having phones and being exposed to the internet.
Yeah.
Then,
Back in my day, we didn't have that.
exactly. Of course, you had other problems.
Unfortunately. Back in my day, if you wanted to make your kid be quiet for a few hours, you gave them NyQuil, not an iPad. NyQuil, the $7 babysitter.
Oh my god. I couldn't imagine.
Just pour a little NyQuil down their throat. They'll go to bed for a while. I'm not advocating drugging your kids. Please do not take it that way.
I also don't advocate giving an iPad to your kids.
I do to a degree. There's a lot of good you can do with an iPad and a kid. There's a lot of apps that are meant for learning,
Fair enough. Fair enough.
science and electronics.
But you're not giving
language.
it to them,
No.
though. You're letting them use it.
Yes.
If you give them an iPad, then you messed up. But that's just my
Or you
opinion.
lock out everything except for the learning apps and give them the iPad.
Yeah.
And then wait 3 days and change all the codes because they will have figured it out.
Think about that. Like, what about the natural human development when you give them a screen? I don't know how hindered your brain is when you're not actually experiencing life, but when you're just experiencing it through a screen, which is fine. You can learn things through a curriculum on a intuitive level, but if you're not actually out there, in the wild, primitively exploring life like you should be as a human being, then maybe there's something to say about that.
Drop your kids off in Antarctica. Let them explore.
Exactly. That's precisely what I'm saying. I don't advocate iPads, NyQuil, but drop them off in Antarctica.
Let them go find that Wells Fargo ATM.
I do not get that reference.
It's the loneliest ATM in the world. There's 2 ATMs in Antarctica for like scientists and stuff who live there throughout the year.
Huh.
Because even in Antarctica, you still need money
Yeah.
to buy stuff from the stores that I guess are in Antarctica,
Huh.
which seems weird to me. Yeah, but there's 2 ATMs. They get serviced once every 2 or 3 years by somebody who comes in, But in between those times, if one breaks, they use the other one for parts.
Oh wow. Huh. To think that people actually live in Antarctica, like that's their life. That's literally a whole other
Sounds
world.
cool, doesn't it?
No. Oh, shitty. No, my bad. Sorry.
No, that's
Sorry.
fine. Like I said, F word. That's just no F word.
That's the only one?
That's the only one. That's the line. That's the line in the that's this line in the sand right here.
Out of all
F-word.
other words,
Yes.
like literally.
That I know about anyway.
Okay,
That's the
yeah.
only one that.
Wow, that's very specific. And once again, you try to marginalize, or I don't know if marginalize is the right word. You try to accommodate for all, but you only censor one, and the ones that you censor are still taking away from the majority of your viewership, like in content feeds. Imagine how can you make YouTube gaming videos or streams without using the F word? Like, really?
Easy. You don't use the F word while you're playing a game.
Wait, rephrase that question, or re-say that.
You don't use the F word while you're playing a game.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's
Yeah.
how you do it. You don't use the F word while you're playing a game.
What? How?
Like this. Dang it.
If you, it's okay. We were just talking about Overwatch before, right?
Yes.
If you get killed by a Junkrat, which is your main, I'm a tracer. If you get killed by a Junkrat, I'm gonna say some words. I can't stop that. I really can't. Playing PUBG is another great example. You hear a bullet whiz right by your head, you don't even know it, you're gonna jump and say some words. Like, I don't know how you control that. Unless you're a family-friendly Let's Player, in which case...
I say something along the lines of, God dang.
Maybe you just have to really...
Oh, crikey. But I don't play PUBG, I play, that other
Fortnite?
one. Yeah.
Yep.
That one's fun. You play Fortnite?
I downloaded it. I haven't tried it really much yet.
You play on a computer?
Yeah.
Add me, because even though I'm on PS4, we can play together.
What?
Yeah.
That's tight.
That's
More
awesome.
games need to be like that, I swear.
Yes.
There's
they aren't friendly with Xbox and they aren't friendly with Wii or Switch.
Oh, yeah.
Like if you have used your Epic Games account on PlayStation 4 and then you got Fortnite for a Switch, you couldn't play it. You had to make a new account.
Oh, wow, of course. Man, PC player, I was actually talking to my friend about that, like, because he plays Overwatch on PS4, so if PC and console could somehow merge, and especially in FPS games, competitive FPS games, PC would slaughter. Like, there's no way.
I disagree.
You disagree?
Mm-hmm.
There's no... Okay, how can you have precision as much on a controller with joysticks compared to a mouse?
The aiming part, for the most part, PC beats out the aiming part.
Yes.
Every other aspect, a controller wins.
Okay, how? How? You have to explain this one to me.
Being able to move around is so much easier with a joystick.
Okay.
To a degree, aiming over a long span can be easier with a joystick because you're not having to...
I think that a lot of that's technique, but I hear you. Okay.
And buttons just make things nice, simple. Click, click, click.
Fair, okay, I give you that. The thing about PC for me, like with PUBG once again, there's a lot of weird buttons that you have to press, like M for map, which is on the complete other side as W.
I will say sometimes
forward.
I do use a keyboard and mouse on Fortnite because you can use keyboard and mouse on PS4.
Oh yeah,
Just by straight plugging it into USB.
which is dope.
Most games, you have to have some sort of converter that lets you use a keyboard and mouse for games. Like, you can't just do that with Overwatch.
Oh yeah, that's weird.
You gotta get a special piece of equipment.
Mm-hmm.
But Fortnite, plug straight into your computer. I got a mouse and keyboard that go off one USB dongle.
Huh.
Wireless.
That's
I'm
nice.
bad with keyboard and mouse. I can snipe better, but for the most part, I'm just bad.
Sniping better. Well, the thing with motion for me is like, yeah, I get, when I used to play Call of Duty on Xbox, it did feel fun to move and it felt correct to, run and jump and do stuff like that. But on PC, I don't know, once you get used to the movements of juggling between actual, 4 buttons rather than dynamic movement, it's pretty, it's pretty much the same. You just get to, honestly, I think it's pretty much the same. Physically, because the joystick is gonna move in between basically W and S or something like that. So if you press W and S at the same time or interval between the two, it's gonna be the same motions.
You can get a lot more directions though with a joystick than you can with 4 buttons.
Yeah,
Because with 4 buttons, the most you're gonna get is 8. Up, down, left, right, angle, 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 angle.
Yeah, that's true. But
with a joystick, you get 360 degrees.
But in what situation would you actually need to go specifically diagonal without moving your cursor?
Junkrat Riptire.
Well, yeah, you can still move your cursor, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so why don't you just move your cursor? Which, yeah, that goes back to technique of moving it like this, but I think that's one of the trade-offs.
Oh.
We can talk about PC versus console all day long. But I still believe that, especially in Overwatch competitive or something like that, snipers and Hanzo.
PS4 has better games though. So.
Than PC?
Yeah.
Like God of War?
No, I've never played it.
Oh, then Little Big Planet?
Yeah.
What? The 2 PS4 exclusives?
I don't really enjoy it.
Really?
Did you say the 2 PS4 exclusives?
Well,
like those are the only 2? They're not
the
even
2
the best
PlayStation
ones.
exclusives that I could think of.
Uncharted is like one of the best games ever.
What?
Yes.
I've never played it.
How have you never played Uncharted?
Because I never had a play. Well, the only PlayStation I've ever had is a PS2.
I'm gonna loan you my PS3.
Okay.
So you can play Uncharted. I think
right.
I have the games somewhere.
A PS3.
Because I have a PS4.
Oh, okay.
And I have a PS3.
PS3 is
And I have a
dope.
PS2.
Oh, nice.
And I have a PS1.
No Xbox?
No Xbox. I have a Nintendo Entertainment System, a Nintendo 64, 2 GameCubes, 2 Wii's,
Oh my
and
god.
a Wii U.
You just don't like Microsoft, do you?
They've never had any exclusives I've cared about.
Halo!
Halo's okay.
What do you mean Halo's okay?
I'm not a big FPS person.
Oh, fair enough.
The
I
best
get it.
FPS I've ever played story-wise was Call of Duty 2 Big Red 1 for the PS2. And it's so good. The solo story is so good.
I imagine that. Was that War Pigs or Paranoid? I don't know. I can't tell. Background noise. My bad.
I was like, what? No, it was Big Red 1. We already went over this.
But yeah, like, I've never really played a game for the story.
Really?
Yeah, never finished a game ever. Like campaign.
You've never finished a campaign?
Nope, never once. I told you I was not a big gamer, but like, yeah, never once finished a campaign. I got one of the stories that's actually kind of intrigued me lately was Final Fantasy 8 or 9. I think it was 8.
How did it start?
Clap? I don't know. I can't remember. No, I really can't.
Did they have a guy with a tail?
No.
It's probably
It was better graphics, so it wasn't 7.
it's probably 8. 8 had a guy with a gun sword.
It might have been 9. I don't know. I can't remember.
Starts off with a theater shirt.
None of those sound familiar.
He plays Vivi, a little black mage guy.
No.
I don't know.
So probably 8. I don't know. Well, did 8 have a sequel?
No.
Did 9 have a sequel? No, wait, did 10 have a sequel?
Yes.
Yeah, then I played 10. That's what it was. Yeah, I played a little
Yeah,
bit
there
of
was 10-2.
Yeah.
Nobody likes 10-2 except me. I really like 10-2.
Yeah, I got 10-2 as a birthday gift, actually, because that's when I was...
Have you tried it yet?
No, not yet.
You play a bunch of girls. They have these things called dress spheres.
Oh,
let them
yeah.
change between classes, and it's the coolest freaking thing ever, and nobody likes it for some reason.
Why?
I don't know.
No, why would it be cool?
What do you mean? You never watched Sailor Moon?
No. For one, I was a little young for that, and for two, that's always been girly. Like, my girly guilty pleasure as a young kid was like Powerpuff Girls. That's about it.
Powerpuff Girls isn't girly.
How's it? It was pretty girly.
Nah, it's not girly.
Okay, then is Sailor Moon girly?
No.
Well, then your perspective is slightly off on that one.
Sailor Moon was one of my, not one of my first animes. My first animes were like Flint the Time Detective. You ever heard of that?
Nope.
No.
How obscure is that?
Ooh, it's pretty obscure.
Like, where'd you see it first?
Kids WB or Fox?
Huh.
Fox.
At least it was a mainstream-ish route.
Yeah. Samurai Pizza Cats. What?
Never heard of that one.
Never heard of Samurai Pizza? Oh my goodness.
Never ever. I don't even know what my first I think it was like... Honestly, it might have been Bakugan. Like... Because I didn't get into anime pretty
Poor
late.
man's Beyblade.
Bakugan was fire. The original Bakugan was really dope. That concept was awesome. The dragons from a shadow or from an alternate dimension coming through cards, and you get to throw them on a card and they blow up. And the game was really fun too. I never got into Beyblades.
I thought you were talking about something else. I forgot about Bakugan. Huh?
Digimon?
No, Digimon was amazing. Oh, these little like robot ball things that people would throw in the stadium.
Yeah, and then like they pop up.
Yeah. What's
Bakugan.
that? Is that Bakugan?
Yeah, it's Bakugan.
Yeah, that's stupid.
What?
Yeah.
The one on Cartoon Network? Well, I guess they're all on Cartoon Network, but still.
Beyblade was awesome.
I never got into Beyblade.
Beyblades, all the Beyblades had these little discs on top of them.
Mm-hmm.
And they had like spirit beasts.
Oh, that's pretty much the same concept then.
Except Beyblades happened first. Like I said, poor man's Beyblade.
Ah, fair enough.
And the Beyblades spun, attacked each other, and then you would see the fight play out between the spirit beasts.
Okay, well what's cooler though? Spirit beasts inside of discs or dragons?
How cool was the toys that came with Bakugan?
Really? Well, not that cool, but interesting.
See, with Beyblades, we got actual tops that had like razor edges on them almost.
Oh,
and you
yeah.
could spin them really hard, and someone could lose an eye. And that makes things so much cooler
Fair
when
enough,
somebody
yeah.
could lose an eye.
That is infinitely cooler, yeah.
I used to have a bunch of Beyblades, and then I went to camp, and then when I came back, I didn't have any more Beyblades.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. But recently, within the past few years, I went to a garage sale, and I found a bunch more Beyblades.
What year was that? Like, that wasn't like, maybe like 10 years ago?
Oh, Lord.
That wasn't too long.
That was when I was in middle school, I think.
Beyblades? Huh. What year
So,
was that?
like... 14, 15 years ago?
Okay, not too bad. Yeah. Yeah, I guess Bakugan was, yeah, that came out like late 2000s, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that came out.
There was another show that I thought you were talking about when you said, like, cards, because I don't remember Bakugan having cards. It was very similar to, like, Yu-Gi-Oh!
I don't even know what
I can't remember what it was called, but it was on Jetix, I think.
Oh my god, Jetix! Oh, you brought it all back. Dude, Jetix is so slept on. Like, people were crying and crying about bring back Toonami, but no one ever once said Jetix. Jetix is cool.
Jetix was alright.
I thought it was cool. Like, they
You
had...
can't compare things to Toonami, though.
Well, no, but I'm just saying in the slew of all these, like, children's programming blocks, I grew up with Jetix.
Do you even remember Toonami?
No. Well, I never watched it, but I was alive when I was...
So, Toonami was really cool, because you've probably seen it now, right? It's
Yeah.
got the little guy.
Yeah, I mean, I know what it
spaceship.
Yeah, Loose used to look like.
It used to look completely different.
Yeah, like all the different times.
He went through like 3 or 4 different versions of Tom, and actually one of them people got to vote on. Like you got to go online and vote on what version of the ship you wanted, because the ship got blown up. Like Tom had storylines.
Yeah, that's dope.
Face never had storylines.
Face. Is that the female companion?
No, that's the guy from Nick Jr.
No.
Back in the day, the face
I
on the
remember
screen.
Hi there, Face here. Oh, speaking of well, this is a weird transition. Nickelodeon, Adventure Time, Cartoon Network.
Did you say Adventure Time?
Yes. You don't like Adventure Time?
I hate Adventure Time.
Why?
I hated Adventure Time when it was a one-off thing on the internet.
Exactly.
And Finn was Pin.
Oh, his name was Pin?
His name was Pin.
That was the Nickelodeon short, right?
I don't know. It was on Nickelodeon?
Yeah, they first aired on Nickelodeon.
I didn't like it when I saw it on the internet.
That's incredible.
When I was in high school.
Why? What's not
I
to
just
like about...
didn't.
It's just... Okay, anyway.
I didn't like Charlie the Unicorn either, though.
From that to Cartoon Network to all their new shorts that they've been doing. What do you think about that?
Oh, I haven't seen them.
You haven't seen any new
cable.
shorts? Well, no, they're on the internet.
Oh, I have the internet.
Oh, well, okay.
I mean, I do. But I'm always watching, like, Yu Yu Hakusho.
When was the last
Trigun.
time you watched Cartoon Network?
Years?
That seems about right. Since you're talking about Yu Yu Hakusho.
Cartoon Network started doing a bunch of live-action shows, and I was like, oh, I guess I'm done with Cartoon Network for the most part.
Well, they finished all that.
Yeah, they kind of stopped all that a while back, I heard.
Yeah, they went through an identity crisis in like 2010. When when they had like they shortened it just to the 3D CDN, but then they went back to the new thing.
See, I missed something called Cartoon Fridays.
Yeah, that was right before my time.
We got things like Powerpuff Girls, Dexter's Lab, Johnny Bravo, Cow and Chicken. Do you know Cow and Chicken?
Yeah.
Are you familiar with?
Yeah, I'm familiar with all of those.
Cow and Chicken was weird.
Yeah. All those. That's a weird thing about these 90s cartoons. Like they have so much nostalgia and all this behind it, but as a show, it's worth examining. Like, it's not, it's weird.
Yeah.
It wouldn't, if it were to come out today, it would be critically split. Like,
there are some shows that came out in the 90s that didn't do very well. If they came out today, oh my goodness, Freakazoid would be the biggest hit ever.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's the other funny thing about comedy too. Like it's just the interesting, like the awkward, offbeat comedy thing that's so popular now was always, it's been happening for so long.
Yeah.
But now it's just kind of like making its way to the mainstream.
Freakazoid had an episode, well, a little skit, short thing, with his buddy Cosgrove, who's a cop. And Freakazoid would be doing something. And then he'd see Cosgrove, and Cosgrove would be like, hey, you want to go get a mint? Like, okay. And then they'd go off from whatever he was doing, fighting whatever villain he was in the middle of a fight with, and they'd go get a mint at a mint store. They'd eat a mint. And Freakazoid would be like, Cosgrove, how come you've never been married? And Cosgrove was like, I like meat too much. And Freakazoid's like, well, you can like meat and be married. And there's some subtext to that somewhere.
Yeah. Wow. It's weird
that I'm surprised made it on TV in the 90s.
Yeah, exactly. It's because it's adults writing these to other adults in the FCC being like, yeah, either yes or no. And then it's going to kids who don't get it at the time. Then 20 years later we go, no. It's such a weird dynamic. Like, they have all these opportunities to be like, yeah, that shouldn't be in a kid's TV show, but
yeah.
I guess we're just now finding out that these things.
Well, I think they didn't notice some of them. Like, there was this big recurring thing in Animaniacs where they would say something that they really shouldn't get away with. And that would always be followed up with Yakko Warner going, good night, everybody. Like, the show was over. That was it. That was the straw that broke the camel's back. Like, at one point, they're doing, like, a detective thing. Like, they're helping these hippos out, and Yakko's like, Wacko, search for food. Or get some food. Dot, search for Prince. And then I'll take requests for something. Or no, he starts asking, he's like, do you have any enemies? They're like, no. Do you have any debtors? No. He's like, do you have any requests? And he pulls off his Sherlock Holmes outfit to be in like a tuxedo. He's at a piano. He starts playing some song. And then Dot comes back and she's like, I found Prince. And she's holding Prince in her arms, like the singer. And he goes, no, fingerprints. And she goes, I don't think so. And throws him out a window. Fingerprints.
Oh, wow. That's good.
Yeah.
Wow, that would have totally slipped over my head.
Slipped over mine.
That's good. Even kids' movies have a bunch of that too. Like, watch.
Well, I mean, here's the thing though, because it's a kids' movie. Kids can't go to the movies by themselves.
That's true.
Adults have to go to movies.
Yeah.
And if you want an adult to sit through Frozen for almost 2 hours,
well, I know way too many like females who are adults that
females who are adults who are like my age though. We're not talking like
parental age.
Back in the 90s and stuff. Parents, my mom had me at 40 years old almost, 36 I think. No 36-year-old woman's gonna watch you sit through something like Frozen back in the 90s.
Yeah.
You gotta have something in there for the adults. Like, hey, thanks for watching this. Here's a joke. And then they just slip it by, pass it right over the kids' heads. There was a dick joke right there in the movie. Everybody missed it.
Except for the adults.
Except for the adults. There's one of those in Frozen.
Really?
Go watch Frozen. There's a dick joke in there.
I think I remember that. It's something to talk about, like, I think I kind of vaguely remember something like that.
What if he has small hands? It doesn't matter if he has small hands.
Oh.
I watched that movie in theaters.
Why?
I had a girlfriend.
I'll do it. Yeah.
Did you watch Incredibles 2?
Yeah.
People are getting mad because there was a curse word in a kids film. Do you know what the response to that was by the director?
What?
This was not a kids film. This was an animated movie made for people who were kids when the first one came out.
Yes.
14 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
14 years ago.
So
Which
neat.
is how many powers Jack now has. 14.
Well, that's tight.
Which, a little Easter egg.
Yeah. So what did you think about the movie?
I thought it was amazing. I really liked it. I did not like that it was the exact same plot almost from the first movie.
Well, yeah. I mean, when I went into it, I kind of knew that it was just going to be an homage film, just for the people like me who grew up watching it. I didn't really have a problem with it, though. For me, it's just...
I didn't have a problem with it. It was really good.
It was really good, yeah.
They did an excellent job with the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think a different story might have been better.
Well, I think the story was good.
The story... I'm not saying the story was bad.
It took it in different directions.
But it was almost the exact same story from the first film. Somebody wants to bring superheroes back to, in a way, get rid of superheroes.
Yeah.
In the first one, he wanted to make everybody super, so that there were no superheroes.
Mm-hmm.
And this one, spoiler alert, everybody. So stop if you don't want to know the plot.
I think the
even though
spoiler.
I've more or less,
more
or less spoiled it in saying that it's the same. It's not quite the same.
Mm. Yeah, I completely forgot about the whole spoiler one. But it's been out for a while, though. Like, if you're not going to see it,
Like
then...
3 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's been out for much longer than 3 weeks.
Has it?
Yeah. It came out, like June 2nd or something like that. Like, really early in the summer.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
It came out quite a minute ago. But yeah, I think... I appreciate... I really don't care about the story as much, because I feel like they introduced so much more that made the movie unique. Like...
Did you play the game?
No.
The first game that came out?
Mm-mm.
Because it was about the... It took place immediately after the first film.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, but I don't know how the game goes. I don't think it goes with them not stopping the Underminer, who doesn't show up for the rest of the movie. He just gets away with all that money. Spoiler alert.
It's weird, like...
They never mention him again!
Yeah, 14
Bye, Underminer!
I would have sworn, like, when I first saw the movie, I thought the whole second movie was going to be about the Underminer. He was such a cool villain. He had a cool ship, or thing, and he had a cool, like, voice. He could have been a cool character.
He had a dumb catchphrase, though.
What was the catchphrase?
I am the Underminer. I am below everybody, but nothing is below me.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I'll do anything. It's $20 is $20, you know? Hey.
But yeah, they never really mentioned him again. I think the villain was kind of whack, though. Like, it was a little predictable. I think the villain... the concept was cool.
The concept was kind of cool. The way they kind of played it, like, she wasn't going to be the villain necessarily. I think I still more or less saw what was going on.
Yeah, me too.
But they were trying to be like, hey, this is the villain. Which is really what they did in the first film, too, with the blonde chick. They were like, hey,
oh, yeah,
this is the villain.
Uh-huh.
And she wasn't the villain. She helped at the end, actually.
What's his name? He was a really good character. I forget what his name...
The Crusher.
No, the villain. From the first movie.
I
completely...
Syndrome!
Syndrome! Yeah,
Syndrome!
that's a classic villain right there.
Yeah, but he wore a cape.
Yep.
Shouldn't have worn a cape. No cape styling.
I'm glad she made a cameo, which totally felt like just a cameo. It didn't do anything to the story. It just felt like, hey, she existed.
I mean, she didn't really do anything to the story of the first one.
Well, other than comic relief, but like, yeah, fair enough.
She showed up for a little bit. She's like, here's your suits, darling. And then she went away.
Well, she kind of helped through, like, some of it. I think she was definitely in it for longer in the first movie than the second one.
I disagree. Voice-wise, she was longer in the first movie. I think visually, she was in quite a bit of this movie.
Really?
Yeah.
How?
Because she shows up and does the whole thing with Mr. Incredible. And then Mr. Incredible has to go back the next day, and they do that big old long scene
Oh, yeah.
with, like, the flame
Jack.
That's, yeah. the tasty flame retardant stuff. Yummy. I don't remember what it was flavored. Bubblegum? No. Grape? I think it might have been grape. I like grape flavored stuff. You like grape flavored stuff?
I don't eat anything flavored.
I don't eat anything.
Ever. I try to stay away from artificial flavors and all that stuff.
Why?
Because it's unhealthy.
Don't you want to know what bananas used to taste like?
What did they used to taste like?
So artificial banana flavor tastes like what bananas used to taste like before we started like
Genetically engineering it?
yeah.
That's very interesting. Huh. So how did...
Closer to plantains.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I never really liked the original banana flavor then. Like the banana flavored Laffy Taffies.
Yeah.
Terrible.
I like Laffy Taffy.
That's true, yeah.
I like taffy. You like taffy?
No.
Sea salt taffy?
I don't even know what that is.
Sea salt taffy.
Why would you make taffy out of sea salt?
Don't ask me. I didn't make it. They go crazy about it in an episode of Jimmy Neutron though.
Jimmy Neutron's a good show.
I remember that one as a movie.
Oh yeah, me too. I saw the VHS.
I saw it in theaters.
Oh man. I can't beat you on that one. Do you still have the Orange Rugrats movie?
No, I did not.
Got you on
I
that
never
one.
had that one.
What?
Yeah.
That's a 90s kids classic.
Yeah.
Right there. Man, that's a good one.
I have Sailor Moon R Promise of the Rose on VHS.
Is it colored though?
No.
So it's just a black VHS.
Yeah.
Do you have that Miramax like sound cleaner?
No.
Oh, you never had that?
Uh-uh.
Oh man.
I wish I still had my VCR. My brother tore it apart for scrap.
Damn.
Yeah, it was a nice VCR too. It's really hard to find a VCR now. I have a Gargoyles VHS board game.
What?
It is a board game that you play while watching a VHS that gives you instructions on how to play the board game. I haven't played it yet.
That's actually.
I'd like to do that for a live stream special. That'd be fun.
That'd be tight.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get some people together for that. Oh, hey, before we're done, you do music.
Yes, I do.
All right, we're done. He does music.
Yes, I do.
No, tell me, you working on anything lately?
Yeah, I'm working on just a bunch of just work really. I mean, that's the way I can.
Working on a bunch of work.
Yeah.
Only the best content here on Zack's Breakfast.
I don't like to think of myself like as having anything planned right now because
You don't?
no, I don't. And the beauty of it is it's just day by day. It's
Make
like
some dubstep.
actually, yeah, kind of. I like to think. Well, it's ghost trap. Yeah. I think a ghost trap is like a fusion between any genre that I like. So yes, dubstep, trap, hip hop, you name it. It's all in there.
Polka.
Yes. Oh my god. I need to integrate polka in there.
You ever seen our president play the accordion? Does every time he talks. It's always talks.
I never even noticed that.
People have animated in accordions too, and they just make accordion noise. It's great. It's one of the best things I've ever seen.
How far away does that steer from politics? Is that more related to politics or accordions?
That's pretty much just like memes.
Fair enough, yeah. Fair enough. But how far can you go into the meme territory without reaching into the territory that the memes are from?
I think you have to pull actual dialogue out of what they're from.
To get it into too
you have
far
to have
territory?
context.
Oh, okay.
Without context, it's just a stupid-looking old guy with bad hair playing animated accordion. That's
There you
all
go.
it is,
Is that an opinionated political view?
more or less.
Or is that just an opinionated person view?
Both. Like I said, I try to stay away from politics on Zach Eats Breakfast.
Try.
Donald Trump's a moron, though, so I mean,
There you go.
what are you gonna do?
And now you're into politics. I was trying to see where the line was.
Well, I talked about a couple weeks ago when he was going to the UK. The UK had a protest going on where they were trying to make American Idiot the number one song in the country again when he got there.
Wow.
And I was like, well, normally I might be offended, but you're right. So I'm not. Hey, what you gotta do?
Wow.
And then they had that blimp, that Donald Trump baby blimp
Really?
Yeah, they had like this big orange baby in a diaper with Donald Trump hair floating around, and he didn't care for that. He thought it was very, very rude and mean.
It's quite immature, though. Think about it. Like, I'm not. This isn't a This isn't a political view. But think about it. As a whole country, if you have something like that, that's pretty immature. Think of it if it was like person to person.
Mm-hmm. Well, if it was person to normal person, you wouldn't do something like that because you could just express an opinion and they would look at your opinion, and while they may not agree with it, they would think about it rationally. With Donald Trump, and this is not getting political, you say something to Donald Trump, and if he doesn't like it, he's like, nah,
How's that not political?
I don't hear it. I don't hear, because it's what he does in everything. You say something to him in what was that show he had? He had that big show for the longest time where people would try to run a business for him.
I don't know.
And he would say, "You're fired," and it was a reality show.
Ah.
Lots of people were on it. I can't think of what it was called.
Interesting. I mean, take a look at media. How interesting is just media in general? Media stirred up. This isn't a political view. This is a world view. Media stirred up all these views on everything.
Yeah.
They took all these things, fed it to you, and made you feel a certain way.
Yeah.
That's about everything. How interesting is that? And that's all media. That's not even just television. That's internet, everything. Even to a certain degree, that's just conversational people. But
True.
of course, that's influenced by the media as well. So,
Unless you don't consume media.
like because I didn't know that happened in the UK.
But now you have consumed media.
And how much farther am I in my human experience now that I have? Not much farther.
Man, this show's weird.
Very
Strange show.
But it can get deep.
Whose idea was this? Somebody should fire him. Jeez.
Some schmuck.
Some schmuck. Some schmuck in a suit. Oh no.
Look at what you've become.
I'm a schmuck in a suit. But a cool suit with a little tie. Oh yeah,
Do you change out your ties?
I do. I've got like 4 or 5. I've got
Nice.
one that has manatees on it. Do you think sea cows, when something terrible happens, they yell, "Oh, the manatee"?
Wow.
But I got a double-decker London buses and a little green car. It goes toot toot.
How much was that? Really?
A couple dollars. I got it at a thrift shop.
That's the best way to do it.
Popping tags, you know.
Oh, but wait. You advocate stealing ties on your show?
No, I advocate altering the price illegally and paying less for it.
Oh, okay.
Not on my show, but in real life. On my show, I'm going to say don't do it. Because that's what popping tags is.
That's what popping tags?
You take a smaller price tag and you put it on a bigger price tag.
Oh, I didn't even know that. How they still let you get away with that?
I'm going to pop some tags because I only got $20 in my pocket. Which means I got to get $20 worth of clothes or less.
That's true, yeah.
I'm a hunting, looking for a come up. This is, I can't say that word on YouTube. Awesome. I mean, I can.
That's a very old song.
That's not that. That's like 4 or 5 years old.
How?
Maybe.
That's a pretty old
6
song.
or 7.
Yeah.
We were talking about Digimon earlier. Digimon's
enough.
like 20-something years old.
But when especially nostalgia, and with anime, video games, and movies, pretty much stuff like that, stuff that we grew up on, that's one thing. Music, it's instant. The song today is immediately dated by the end of the year.
I disagree. Maybe to everybody.
Today, to the pop group, yeah.
Yeah.
Not necessarily to us.
Yeah.
Well, I don't even listen to pop music anyways, but...
I listen to some pop music.
Well, yeah, you just referenced that song. What's your favorite pop song from the past 5 years? Right now.
I'm having a hard time thinking of pop songs from the last 5 years.
Whatever the first thing that comes to your head has to be the right answer.
can't think of it.
Really?
Yeah.
And you probably don't listen to that much pop.
I was a pizza delivery driver. I listened to a lot of pop for a little while, and then I got tired of it and listened to NPR instead. Because I knew I wasn't going to get the same thing twice on NPR.
That's true. That's good.
Pop song. 5 years, pop song. I keep thinking of pop songs, and I'm like, wait, no, that's more than 5 years old.
Then what about 10 years? Or 5 years? A 5-year span starting 5 years ago. So within like, what year? 2000, between 2013 and 2008. Yeah.
Between...
Yeah,
2008
2013. Yeah.
Oh. Empire Ants.
Empire Ants? By who?
Gorillas.
Okay, fair enough. Gorillas. That's like saying Daft Punk. That's not really pop music. They just have really, really popular music. That's like... I thought you were going to say like Taylor Swift or something like
that.
that.
No, I don't like Taylor Swift.
That's pop music.
Oh, wait, no. In that time period, possibly, because I can't remember when it came out, what the heck's his name? Mike Posner's song.
Mike Posner.
Yeah.
Never heard of him.
Yeah, you have. He did that one song. If I could write you a song to make you fall in love, I would already have you up under my arm. I used to follow my tricks. I hope that you like
mildly
this.
familiar.
But you probably won't. You think you're cooler than me.
That's your favorite pop song between 2008 and 2013?
It's the only one I can think of that I really like.
That's probably the best one.
Yeah.
There you go. Now you win.
What do I win? What do I win, George?
You win.
George, tell him what he wins.
What if you got one good pop song between 2013 and 2018? That's what you win.
I'm not entirely sure what you just said.
Like, that's your reward. You found a pop song between that.
Oh, okay. That's that in and of itself is your reward. How very storybookish of you. Am I the page master now?
What if that was a self-fulfilling, like a very weak self-fulfilling prophecy?
I'm sorry, but did I just make a page master reference and not at all react to it?
I don't know what page master is.
You don't know what page master is?
Nope.
I probably just spiked my mic so hard. There's a Macaulay Culkin movie.
Oh goodness.
That was animated.
What?
Yes.
Oh.
He goes into a library in the middle of the night, and an old guy runs into him, and then he's like, "Hey, something, page master." And so he goes to leave, and he gets lost, and he can't find his way out, and he finds a book. It's like 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, and he opens it, and water starts coming out or something.
Who animated?
No, that was after it was animated. Before it was animated, something happens, and the water's rushing in or something. I don't know. He ends up in a book or something.
Who made it?
Oh.
Was that a 90s movie?
Oh yeah.
You don't know who made it? Like, what company made it?
Well, thankfully we have technology nowadays.
We have this wonderful invention.
I have all of the knowledge in the world in my pocket. It's crazy. That's crazy to think about.
Yeah.
Like, since we invented electricity, what, 150 years ago?
Really?
200 years ago, at most?
Mm-hmm.
And that took a few thousand years
That
of
took
humans
hundreds
being
of thousands
around.
of years, yeah.
Well, of humans being around.
Yeah, humans have been around for hundreds of thousands of years.
We got to that point after that long, and now, within a few hundred years, we have all the knowledge of the world in our pockets, and people use that to take naked pictures of themselves and send it to other people.
That's a very, very, very slim way of perceiving that. They don't do it just for that. I mean, you can do anything with the phone. People do much more. That's like, okay, a better comparison would be like to take cat pictures or to take selfies. How many people out of people who take cat pictures and or selfies take naked pictures?
Most of them.
Most of them, but not all. There's more cats than naked pictures out there.
Who's that even look it up? Page Master. Page Master.
I also find it interesting that like technology is such a.
How old are you?
19.
When were you born?
98.
The Page Master is 4 years older than you.
Oh my god.
So it's got Macaulay Culkin, Christopher Lloyd,
Is that?
Whoopi Goldberg,
Yep.
Patrick Stewart, Leonard Nimoy,
What?
Frank Welker, Mel Harris, Ed Begley Jr., Jim Cummins, George Hearn,
Who's it made
Phil
by?
Hartman, Alexis. Oh, that's a good question.
Because like that's an all-star cast, but that can easily be wasted by a terrible. I was gonna say developer.
More about this movie. Directors Joe Johnston and Pixotti.
I guess it's not a big deal if it's not released by Disney or Nickelodeon.
It was not released by Disney. Nickelodeon. Yeah, see here.
Is there a website for it?
20th Century Fox.
Oh, okay.
Produced by Turner Pictures, released by 20th Century Fox on November 23rd, 1994.
I wonder how long. Wait, what? What was I gonna ask?
The film was written for the screen by David Caskey, based on a 6-page pitch by writer Charles Pogue, entitled Library Days.
That's cool.
So 6 pages became a
Movie.
76-minute movie.
Oh, I see. I wonder how those like movie websites like for promotional stuff, like.
They did not make their money back from the box office.
Oh damn. But like, yeah, say a new movie's coming to theaters, right?
Yeah.
How long does that website stay up?
What website?
Like the website for promotional stuff. Like, say on the trailer you'd see, go to www.whatever.com to see.
Oh, like they did
movie.
with like Sector 9. What was that called? The alien.
No, not even for like cool stuff, like web Easter eggs or whatever. Just literally for promotional stuff. Like those websites that no one actually goes to. How long do they keep those up? Like if you look up like a movie from like 2015 in that website.
What movie came out in 2015?
What's a relevant movie that came out in 2000? What about like 2010? That's a really long time ago.
Okay, what movie came out in 2010?
Avatar.
I certainly don't know one.
Like that's a really big movie.
When you say Avatar,
I mean the okay one, not the abominable one.
we may have differing opinions about which one is which with those particular words.
There's only one answer. Like there's only a right and wrong answer.
Not with those particular words.
The blue people.
Okay, the Smurfs movie, gotcha.
Yeah. Sure. Wonder how long that website would be up. It shouldn't be up for long. Like, 'cause someone has
I
to
didn't do it.
pay for that domain. What?
AvatarMovie.com.
Why? What's
Heck if I know.
I wonder how much traffic that gets. It's literally got to be
You can
nothing.
check. You can go to websites to check that.
Huh. That's
Probably go to the
incredible.
Wayback Machine on the Internet Library thing. You know what the Wayback Machine is?
No.
It's a time machine for the Internet. Websites that don't exist anymore, you can go back and go to them
Oh.
using the Wayback Machine.
I was
where
gonna say
like data was saved from the website.
that's cool.
Like the code was just saved from people visiting it. And so
Oh.
you can use the Wayback Machine to go check out a website that no longer exists.
I would love to go back to like 2005 Disney.com. That was a very or even
No,
better.
oldschoolcartoonnetwork.com.
I never even got on that.
Oh, it had some of the best games. There was an MMO for Kids Next Door for a little while.
Really?
That you could download.
Huh.
It was like a full-on
Oh.
MMO.
What was that one game from Cartoon Network? Like all it was a 3D game that you could download, and it was like you can get all the Cartoon Network characters in one. It was later on. Like I remember Ben 10 was a big selling point for whatever reason, and it was free. I don't even. It was a big
fighting game.
Yeah, or like MMO kind of thing.
Oh, I don't know.
Like, I'm surprised you don't know that. Like, there's a bunch of like all of them: K&D, Ben 10, Ed, Ed, Nettie, all of them.
My favorite Cartoon Network game was always Cartoon Network Island Resort. And there were 4 weeks of this game, and it was a top-down walk around, and it was a trading game. Like, you had to get something from one character and go find the right character to talk to,
Wow.
trade stuff with them, so that you could eventually fulfill some sort of goal at the end. Be it blocking up a volcano, filling up the pool, fixing the disco dance hall place, stuff like that.
So real interesting stuff.
Oh, I loved it.
Mm-hmm.
It's great. You played as a different character each week. It had shows like Courage the Cowardly Dog, Powerpuff Girls, Mike, Lou, and Og. Oh, you don't remember?
Never heard of that.
No?
No.
That didn't last very long.
Yeah.
Some show with a cactus. I can't remember.
Hmm.
Anyway. You're not necessarily working on any projects with any sort of timeline right now.
No. But I am working hard.
Yes, you're working on stuff. You're not setting yourself to any sort of, I have to get this done by this.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just letting the art flow.
Letting the art flow. As long as you don't let the fart flow. Till you're out of here, we will be fine. Alright, so we are pretty much done, I think. I'm done with my breakfast. You've been sitting over there with dry cereal.
Well, I've been in conversation. That's why I didn't want to put milk in it, because I knew I was going to get...
I talked to Nate.
This is your show. You're pro at that. I'm not.
I didn't usually have guests on my old show. This has been fun. I like having guests almost every day.
This is cool.
Yeah, this guy here, he's causing a ruckus. Causing a scene. Dropping F-bombs.
Oh, yeah. My bad.
Then I have to go through and censor it.
Well, one time.
Put like a dog bark over it. That's my censoring sound I've come up with, is a dog bark.
Cool.
So when you say that thing you said...
It's a little bit more work you have to do.
That one.
Or
I have to go to bed tonight, right? I have to...
Oh, I'm sorry. You have to put
like,
2 dog barks in
I have to edit things, and then I have to get home, and I have to go to... I get up at 4 in the morning.
So do I.
Why?
I work at the news station. I do morning shift.
That sounds horrible.
It's not that bad. It's pretty chill. I mean,
my buddy used to work there.
Sid?
Yeah!
Yeah, I know.
I'm sorry.
What? Why?
That you knew him.
Oh man, that's wrong.
No, I said I've had shit on the show. I'm Sean Connery. I've had shit on the show. Shit was my first guest on the show.
That doesn't surprise me. Yeah, this is totally his bread and butter.
Well, there's no bread and butter.
I don't know what that saying really means.
We had
cereal.
Yes.
Yes, it's cool. I like it.
Honey Nut cereal pieces oat cereal.
And Honey Nut Pieces of cereal.
Honey Nut pieces oat cereal.
Oh, I see.
Honey Nut cereal pieces oat cereal. Because that's what it says on the box.
Honey Nut Pieces oat cereal.
Yeah, Honey Nut. It's got a cereal piece and an S, so it's Honey Nut cereal pieces oat cereal.
You know, I have one final message.
One final message for the people.
No, not for the people, for you.
For the people.
No, for you.
The people.
Yeah. I have one criticism of your show.
What's that?
One thing that you can improve on is get name brand cereals.
Look here! Do you have any idea how expensive cereal is, boy?
Yes, I do.
I buy 7 boxes at a time. Do you know how crazy that gets? And first of all, let me explain something to you. What's this?
Upside down.
What's this?
Honeycombs.
Is that name brand?
I don't know.
Yes.
It is?
What's it say up at the top corner there?
Post? Oh, okay. Have you ever had this complaint before?
What's this?
Post.
Is that name brand?
Yep.
Yes, it is.
Well, apparently.
What's this?
Great Value is not name brand.
What? This is better than Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
That's opinionated.
Huh?
That's opinionated.
No. This is better than
Is
Cinnamon
that definitive?
Huh?
Is that definitive?
Yes.
Alright.
What's this?
Kellogg's. Okay, fair enough. I redact my statement then. You got Kellogg's.
What's this?
Oh, you got real Captain Crunch?
I currently have 1, 2, 3, 4 name brand cereals and 1, 2, 3, 4 off-brand cereals.
Fair enough. That is cool. And you got Silk.
And I've got Silk.
So props to Silk.
Pants.
Pants? Oh.
I wish I had Silk. That sounds comfortable as well. Alright. Enough with you and your messages for the people. Me. Jeez. That's it. Done. Breakfast is over. Show is over. Means it ends the same way it ends every day. It's Zach Eats Breakfast. Peace out.
You're doing what's that dude with the music guy? Who like hands the mic to him and he just stays there still the whole time? That's the bit you're doing. Yep. I guess I just gotta walk away. Yep.
Alright, we're gonna get plenty of background noise going on too.
Oh yeah.
Window.
Crazy ambience.
3, 2, 1.